can also bring great ambition to its owner. Some use this ambition positively and others become more cruel as their ambition increases. If a person is uncontrollably powerful and cannot control their ambition, the consequences can be dire. This combination of ambition and power first destroys those who are around or that person and then destroys that person himself. These days, the consequences of the power poisoning experienced by Vladimir Putin, the president of the Russian Federation, are becoming clearer. But here we have a situation. Putin's power poisoning and his ambitions will finish him first. Hello, the Pioneer viewers. How are you doing? I hope you're healthy and well. As the Pioneer team, we continue to bring you updates on Russia-Ukraine war. In a moment, we will share with you the details of an incredible event that happened recently. This event, which reveals Putin's fears and reality in Russia, showed that Putin is now completely detached from reality and has the potential to do anything to maintain his power. Let's analyze the development regarding the Russian opposition leader, Navalny. As the Pioneer team, we continue to bring you updates on the Russia-Ukraine war. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so that you don't miss our daily map reports and reports on the agenda. You can also support me and my team by using the super thanks button below the videos. Thank you for your support. Let's start if you are ready. The Pioneer reports. While the Russia-Ukraine war continues in its full swing and intensity on the front lines, incredible developments are taking place behind the front lines. Fearing that his attempt to invade Ukraine will fail, Putin is making every preparation for his eventuality. This invasion attempt, which was initially characterized as a special military operation, is now characterized as a war. Likewise, Vladimir Putin, the president of the Russian Federation, who made this characterization, now admits that the operation has failed. Every failure of the Russian armed forces have a profound impact on Putin's life. Because if this war ends with the Ukrainian victory, experts claim that Putin will be tried for many crimes. If this happens, Putin will face many years of punishment, and the Russian leader has no patience with the prospects of facing such a punishment after so many years in power. This is forcing him to make more and more wrong decisions. With great power comes great responsibility. For many years, Vladimir Putin, the president of the Russian Federation, has used the power given to him by the Russian people to rule the country for his own personal interests. In other words, he built great power, but he did not fulfill the responsibilities that his great power entitles. Of course, that's why some people who defend the rights of the Russian people come out and put a stop to Putin. But Putin again chose to intimidate these people with the authority of his great power. One of these people was Navalny. Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny was one of the Putin's stronger opponents inside the Russian Federation. Navalny was imprisoned before the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Navalny's criminal record was clean. His only crime was his opposition to Putin. Therefore, Russian courts accused Navalny of extremisms and imprisoned him. After Navalny's imprisonment, the President of the United States of America, Joe Biden, also made a statement and explicitly warned Vladimir Putin, the President of the Russian Federation. Biden used the following statements in his statement. I made it clear to Putin face to face that if Navalny dies in prison, he will suffer the consequences. I made it clear to him that I believe the consequences will be devastating for Russia. These statements by Joe Biden were made even before the invasion of Ukraine had begun. Moreover, after Navalny's imprisonment, the United States and its allies imposed multilateral sanctions on Russia. Navalny spent a long time in Russian prisons. In recent months, he was transferred to a prison in the Yamalo-Nenets region near the Siberia without giving a reason. This prison, known as the Arctic Wolf Colony, is considered one of the most severe prisons in the country. It is located 1,900 kilometers from Moscow, the capital of the Russian Federation, and in a city in extreme cold temperatures. There is also a detail here. No one, including his family, knew about the Navalny's transfer to this prison. He had not been heard from since December. Recently, it was announced that Navalny was transferred to this prison. Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny has recently died in prison. The statement was made by the prison authorities. The following statements were used in the statement. Navalny did not feel well after the march. He lost consciousness almost immediately and died shortly afterwards. All necessary resuscitation measures were applied but without positive results. Paramedics confirmed the prisoner's death. Navalny's death came as a shock both in Russia and around the world, even me. After the news spread, Navalny's family also made a statement. The family made the following statements in their statement. We last saw him on February 12th. He was healthy and happy. There was no indication that he had a health problem. We don't think he was taking drugs to harm himself. He still had hope for the future of Russia. We have our guesses about what happened, but we won't say that. And we don't expect any condolences from anyone. Navalny is gone, but those who caused his departure are still alive somewhere. Obviously, Navalny's death raises a question. Why would a perfectly healthy person suddenly lose his life? There are many allegations in this regard. The strongest of these allegations, of course, is one about the Russian leader Vladimir Putin. Russian leader Vladimir Putin does not want to see anyone who can challenge his power. This was seen before with the Wagner leader Prigozhin. Putin first penetrated the pardoned Prigozhin, and then he wanted to divert public attention from Prigozhin. Sometime later, Yevgeny Prigozhin, the leader of the Wagner group, died in the suspicious plane crash. Experts are therefore skeptical about this incident. Many experts believe that Putin is taking action against his rivals in the possible failure scenarios in Ukraine. We know that there are always different reasons for the death of a person in Russia, especially an opposition figure. The situation with Navalny brings the same possibilities to mind. US President Joe Biden made another statement after Navalny's death. President Biden used the following statements in his statement. If the reports of his death are true, and I have no reason to believe they are not, even though Russian officials are telling their own story, and there is no room for doubt, Putin is responsible for Navalny's death. Putin is not only persecuting Ukrainians in Ukraine, he also persecuting his own people. As you can see, Putin is universally held responsible for this incident. We also see the possibility that the president and the Russian leader Putin could have done such a thing as high, but these allegations can be proven. Sometimes some things cannot be proven, only you can be sure. And the whole world has a common opinion about Navalny's death. So what do you think? What do you think are the reasons behind the Navalny's death? Do you think the allegations against Putin are true? Is Putin afraid? What do you think about the President Biden's statements? Do you think the Russian leader Vladimir Putin will take more provocations actions against the opposition? Do you think Navalny's death will change anything? Or do you think this death will affect the front line? Let me know in the comments, because I care and I read.